Hello everybody, welcome to my channel for new battle report, game 1 of Crippling Rights number 9, my first UB tournament. I'm playing against a demon army I'm playing the same list as before, no change at all since a few battles. My opponent's playing the following list, so Nomen of Savar, a Scourge, 24 Myrmidon with +1 to hit, 20 Succubi, 21 2x1 Blazing Glories, 1 Titan Slayer Chariot, 2 Piece of Chaff and 5 Orders with the Mirror. We played the Frontline Clash and captured the flag. Both my opponent and I chose End of Even, Smite the Unbeliever, Wrath of God and Trial of Faith. And then I had Children of Umi as combat boost, and my opponent took Spectral Blade as combat boost as well, so more or less the same spell. Matchup analysis. Not an easy game for me because it will be hard to handle the Omen, the Scourge and the big unit all at the same time. So I will need to use the map, try to slow him down and make some tricks to avoid him going at me straight with all his blocks and Scourge and Omen, because that would be too hard. I mean, the Scourge can take, as long as he has all his life points, he can march forward without any fear. He can take a charge from an Ogre and then kill me. The Omen can challenge every of my character with no fear. And the big blocks like Myrmidons, strength 5 might be difficult. So yeah, it's and they will be steadfast against all my units more or less. So I have to be careful in this game. Capture the flag is a chance to avoid some combat. It's not an easy scenario in this game because I cannot use at all my tribesman unit, which would have been very good chaff and would have allowed me to keep the Keen Eater in ambush. But with Capture the Flag, I need my Keen Eater to chaff the big blocks, so to be on the board, and therefore no ambush, and I need to protect my flag. But I can avoid at least some combat. I will try to start wide and possibly move back to side of the board where I have more space, when I feel more confident to move in and where he has no threat, basically. I expect him to start because I need to see where are going the blocks and try to avoid him, so I expect him to start and push. Deployment. So my opponent put 2 units of Siren, I put 1 Keen Eater and then a dog, and then he decided to drop all. So here you have the Scourge, 2 Blazing Glories, Titan Slayer Chariot, Myrmidons, the Orders, the Succubi block with the Omen, and 2 times the Siren. On my side I put here my Scouting Hunter, the guy with 6 attack strength 6. I thought it might be interesting to throw a spear or try to charge the Blazing Glories with the attack strength 6 and impact it strength 6. I fancy my chances in this kind of combat. Put an Orc on the left, an Orc on the right, the PSB in the middle, a Giant here. I thought with the heal I might be able to slow him down going through this gap. My Trapper started the game here but then had to move outside during Vanguard. And then here on the right you have my general and all my scoring units. Made a small mistake during Vanguard. I decided to move this unit first, but basically wasn't able to move much because the Siren were here and he did this Siren first, so he would have been able with this Siren to move behind me if I moved too much forward. So I should have moved the Trapper first and then them secondly, and to come here aggressively on the side. Would have been much better, I guess, and would have been a good possibility for the dogs going on this side of the impassable terrain for the Succubi if the Omen decide to leave the unit, so to be a bit aggressive, more aggressive on this side. So that was a mistake. Turn 1 of Demon Legion comes forward and chaff my Hunter, and the Rock moves forward with Omen, who joins the Myrmidons to form a Death Star and moves forward with the Order. And then on the left he moves as well pretty much forward with every unit, and here he moves the Succubi back to go in his zone, and Titan Slayer Chariot makes a cover in case I decide to charge with the Rock. It's 10 on the dice to charge in with the Rock and moves the Siren a bit forward to chaff in the coming turns. He put a big End of Even on my BSB and did 1 wound with 6 hits, strength 4. And then he tried to cast a Wrath of God but failed, and he put Trial of Faith on my BSB, but I'm able to dispel it. Yeah, that's it. My turn 1. I succeed in my frenzy check, so I move back to make sure he cannot charge anybody with the Scourge. I'm able to find a sweet spot on the hill with the giant, but my thought process at the moment was I want to be sure I can kill this Blazing Glories, so I made sure if he makes 8, he's not able to flee out of my arc, and he's outside of Dominion range, so he has no reroll. It's a test on a 7, I guess, maybe a 8. I don't know if he has 9 or 8, but with -1, no reroll, so I might be able to charge him. And here I went for the charge. I thought I can probably deal with the orders who are problematic in this matchup. That would give me 1 flag. And if I kill him, I have another run in the Succubi, or yeah, sure, I can get countercharged by these guys, but I'm with a good possibility to chaff with the with this unit, so it might be interesting for me to take an early charge and change a bit the pace of the game, but I wasn't able to connect with the 10 on the dice. I made only a 9. I move forward with General and move a bit the scoring to stay around and move back with the Hunter. Keen Eaters get into position, and that's it. Magic. Try to blast the cavalry, the light cavalry on the right, but dispelled. I'm able to cast Wrath of God and put it here in the middle. And I try a Faith, but I failed it. Shooting, I'm able to kill 3 Sirens total with the crossbow and hunting spear, so not bad at all. And that's it. Let's move on to Demon Turn 2. Charges with the Order. Comes forward to chaff my Rock, and comes forward to chaff this Rock plus the General's unit as well at the same time, which allows him to march forward with the Succubi and put a bit forward the Titan Slayer Chariot. I'm really expecting a lot from this Wrath of God because I have 4 units in range. If I can kill Titan Slayer Chariot, for example, that might do some good for me. Magic. By the way, was able to do all 3 of the March tests. So the Scourge had an 8 with no reroll, was able to do it. The guy with Dominion and had an 8 rerollable was able to do it, and this guy with a 7 was able to do it. So everybody marched outside, and here I saw, the way I looked was not good. Should have looked south to threat these units coming forward. I don't care if he comes back here in the board, because then that would be a defensive move, and I would have been able to move probably forward out of arc with the giant afterwards. So that was, I guess, the wrong way to look on this side of the board. Okay, that's it for movement. I try to blast my BSB again, I dispel it. He's able to cast the Wrath of God here in the middle of my troops, which is bad, and with Trial of Face he's able to do 1 wound to my BSB, and with 1 dice left he's able to put a reroll to wound with on the Blazing Glory on the left, which is bad news for me. On close combat he's able to kill all of my trappers, and the Comet, the Wrath of God, didn't come down this turn. Turn 2 of the Ogres. I'm able to find a little trick. I charge with the tribesman on the right, and therefore he has to close the door, as you can see. Then it leaves me a charge for the Rock on the Orders on the 8 Swift Ride, but I wasn't able to connect as well this turn, so that was bad. And to add a bit salt on the wounds, I failed my leadership check. I guess it was a 6 rerollable because of the Order. I failed it, so I was only able to do 6, so he will be able to charge me with the Order on the corner. Couldn't avoid that. And here, of course, I took the bait with my Hunter. I mean, I have good chances. If I don't take this charge, I will never charge him. So let's go for this one. Magic. And yeah, by the way, decided to move the Wrath of God is here, so I moved a bit out with the unit I could, meaning the cat and the 3 tribesmen, and my general went out of the unit to be able to have some counter charge. The idea was, yeah, if he charged me, I will try to boost a bit this combat I hope my Wrath of God maybe kills the Titan Slayer chariot, or he failed the charge. He has a 7 on the dice and here 8 on the dice, so you never know. And if I'm able to stick, then I will have good counter charges with these units. Magic. Let me see. I tried to blast the Titan Slayer chariot. The idea was trying to kill him, but he dispels it. Then I put Children of Umi on my Rock. Was casted successfully, so that was a good news. With toughness 7, I have better chance of surviving this combat. And then I'm able to put 3 wounds with a good Trider face against the chariots. That was really a good news. But unfortunately, my Wrath of God is doesn't come down this turn again. So this is bad. I have a last chance when he charges me. I have a shot on a 5 and then a 4. So if I'm able to wound him with the stand and shoot, I could kill him. That would be very lucky, but you never know. Here in combat, I'm able to kill 2 models, and he sticks in combat, so I'm just able to reform a bit. I had planned, in case I kill all of them, that if he charges me with one of these 3 units, I'm able to flee without coming out of the board. So that took some time. I had to plan with all fleeing corridors, so to say. So yeah, in this case I will not need to flee because I'm able to reform behind this unit. Here I'm able to do 2 wounds, but he sticks on leadership stubborn, so 8 rerollable. He's able to stick, and he does nothing in return, so that was a bit lucky for me. Let's move on. Demon turn 3. So he's able to connect with both. So 7 Swift Stride, 8 Swift Stride, both gets in, and as you can see on last turn, the Wrath of God did a bit of damage. He one-shot my scoring unit, which was here. He did a small range, but a lot of hits. He did basically 11 hits on this unit, 9 wounds. So yeah, 1 flag less. That's really a bad news. Here he did 6 wounds, and here he did 10 hits and 5 wounds total. So yeah, quite a lot of wounds with this small Wrath of God. So he was able to connect. And he was able to pass the leadership check to chaff me again with the Siren, to avoid me getting a charge in the flank of the Blazing Glories. And yeah, I guess that's it for movement. He moves back with the Omen to the zone where he can be really a threat. As you can see, he will be struck in combat. He will probably be able to overrun in my shaman. Sorry, it's a 10-inch Swift Stride, so we'll see if he's lucky or not. But should have avoided that. I don't know exactly how, but should have been possible to be a bit further back, maybe. I had to move forward to be able to blast the Titan Slayer chariot, so I was exactly within 24, so I don't know what else I could have done better. And yeah, that's it. The Scourge failed the charge, so that was at least the good news. He tried to charge this guy, and he failed, so that was at least something positive for me. Let's see. In Magic, he was able to do 2 wounds on the mage and 2 wounds on the unit with a Hand of Even, which did 5 hits, strength 5, so a bit lucky to do 2 wounds on the mage. Trial of Face on my mage, I have to dispel it to not get killed, and then he's able to cast another Wrath of God with 3 dice to put it here, somewhere here in the middle, to threat a bit my scoring units. And with 2 dice, he tries to put reroll 2 wounds on the Blazing Glories, but I'm able to dispel it with 3 dice, so that's at least some good news. Wrath of God, mine comes down and kills like 2 guys here and 5 guys here, but I mean no influence on the game whatsoever. And then combat, he rolls well with the impact hits. Yeah, he has to wound me on 4+, so I thought, you never know, it's D3 plus 1 impact hits. If I'm a bit lucky, you don't know, but he makes 4 wounds with the impact hits. I guess 3 wounds with... 3 wounds with impact hits, and then 1 wound more with Myrmidon or the Beast, and then another wound with the Ogre. So yeah, I have only 1 wound remaining. And with the guy on top, I'm able to finish the last wound here. I wasn't able to do it with the stand and shoot. I was able to hit, and then I did the wounds, unfortunately. And with the beast, I strike a little bit on the order, but that's not enough. I have to do like a 4 or the 5 rollable. I fail, and he's able to overrun, chase me, kill me, overrun, and contact with a 10 on the mage unit. So yeah, worst case scenario really. Here I'm able to kill the chaff and reform, and here he's able to do 2 wounds to me. I do nothing in return, but I stick on a 7. So yeah, that was good. Next turn I countercharge with a lot of things here with the giant on the flank. We are in a challenge, but yeah, I should be able to bring a charge, big flank. That should do some good. He's stubborn, but at least I should not lose the combat. Here I'm able to get the charge on a 6 swift stride with the general and to charge in the flank with the keen eater. The idea is to kill 2 models to break the steadfast. So you don't know because of the lake. But I can already tell you, we forgot the fact that the lake was denying steadfast when he had only 2 or 3 models left. So we completely forgot this lake, he and I. So that might have an influence in the combat. Yeah, that was a bit stupid to forget that. Here, I am able to stick to pass the frenzy check. And I move back. The idea is here I was able to chaff these 2 units with the Saber-tooth Tiger unit, and I'm able to avoid the Blazing Glory charging the flank on my general on next turn with the displacement of the Keen Eater. So that was not bad. This situation means that I will get at least 2 rounds of combat with no counter charge. And then, because then it will be his turn. Yeah, 3 rounds of combat actually with no counter charge. But I will really need to kill him or to deny him steadfast, kill him as soon as possible. Magic. So I'll try to help a little bit the ongoing combat, because that will be really decisive for the rest of the game. As you can see, I'm already in a very bad shape regarding the scenario since I lost a scoring unit, and this guy has only 1 wound left due to the combat and the Wrath of God. So let's see. I'm able to get -1 to wound on my mage. I thought I have 2 wounds left. I don't want to get killed by others, so I put -1 to wound on him. Then I tried to put -1 toughness on the order, but my opponent was able to dispel it. The comet here make a huge range, 11, and is able to do 4 wounds on this tribesman unit, which passed the panic check. In combat, is able to kill my guy, but he failed the check, so he lose 1 wound, and then we'll be in combat with the giant. And here I'm able to do a couple of wounds. I'm able to do 3 plus 2, I guess 5 wounds total. He did 2 in return, but he's still steadfast this turn. In any case, still steadfast. Because I needed 2 wounds more, so he sticks in combat. He's able to stick on the 8 with no reroll, so that was not an easy test to pass, but he's able to stick on the 8. If he didn't pass it, I would have done a lot of wounds, because I had a charge, a back, a flank, and 3 wounds more than him, so I win by 7. So would have been 7 wounds more. Would have been really, really good for me to take all these wounds and to save my shaman, to reform his general. I would have been not in such a bad spot, since I have still a couple of characters, the Auroch, so I would still have been able to do something, and still with 3 scoring units, it's still possible to not lose the capture the flag. Let's move on to Demon turn 4. He charges with the Myrmidon in my cats. He charges with the Blazing Glory in the chaff, and he puts here to chaff. He's able to pass the leadership check on the Scourge, 8 with no reroll, to march forward and threat the flank. And he moves outside of the unit with the Omen, who failed the march check, but just move outside to threat the back of my general, basically. I know that if I'm not able to move out of combat at the end of this round, that I will get charged by the Omen, which will be a dead general probably. Let's see magic. He did end of even, 2 hits, strength 2, nothing on this unit. Then did a trial of face on my BSB. I dispelled it because I have only 2 wounds remaining. And then he's able to put -1 strength on the general, which is quite big. I don't know if I should have let that in because I dispelled a spectral blade to avoid him rerolling to wound, but I guess I should have chosen spectral blade and -1 strength and let maybe the trial of face on the BSB. Yeah, you never know. It's not so easy to dispel all the spells with so few. I only 6 dice, so I'm not sure I would have been able to dispel both combat busts in this case. So yeah, I have to take it. Let's see what happened in combat. I'm able to kill him and just pivot. Here, it's actually something bad happened because he's able to kill me, one-shot me, overrun by 5 only with Thrift Stride. He kills everybody but 1, and this guy made just a flee to pass just over the Blazing Glory, did a 4 on the dice, and went just here to chaff my Rock. So yeah. And combat here, I have a lot of regrets because I did a couple of wounds. I did like 3 or 4 wounds, I guess, this turn. I did 3 wounds. He did 2 to me. I still had a back and a flank, and we forgot completely the fact that he didn't had the steadfast. So he was able to stick on 8 with no reroll, but should have been the case because I still had won by 1 wound, flank, and a back. So by 4, meaning 1 less order, meaning some consequences for next turn. So as you can see here, that would have meant 1 model less on one side. So that would have been really good for me to have 1 less, because I still would have a chance in my turn 4 to kill him and then to flee the Omen charges. So yeah, I'm a bit gutted to have forgotten this lake, because that was easy. I don't know why I forgot that. My turn 4, so I try to react a little bit, but I don't have a lot to do. So I charge the Siren, try to overrun in this direction, but I will not be able to contact. But the idea is again to block the march. I haven't been so successful with blocking any march at all for the moment. Here I put a chaff piece. I move out of arc of the Siren, of the Blazing Glories, because you cannot charge anything. Here I move back, so the idea is just to block the Scourge coming forward. Here I'm still fleeing with the annoying cat, and here we're still in combat. Yeah, that's it. So only one wound left on the mage, and I'm moving a bit forward my scoring unit to try to threat a little bit Scoop Eye, but I think I have not really a chance. If he look at me, he kills me probably because he strikes before and he will be steadfast. Let's move on to magic. I try to cast -1 toughness in this combat, but I fail. I try to put Children of Umi on my general, but my opponent dispels it, and I put a Trial of Face on the Omen, but I did nothing. Combat, I do 4 wounds, and he did 3 wounds to me, but he failed his leadership check. This time I forgot he was not steadfast because there was less than 3 models, but he would have been death basically by the end of this turn. Meaning I could have had the possibility to flee on the Omen charge. So yeah, it's really, I don't know why I forgot that. The game was pretty long, 5 hours total. It was quite late already, so maybe that's why. Don't know. Counter charge of the Omen. Of course, I reformed to face him to get parry. Here we're still in combat. He's able to pass the leadership check and moves forward. He lost no wounds, so he should be able to push my Orok. If I charge him, I have very few chances to kill him. And he moves a bit back with the scoring units and moves forward to chaff me with the Blazing Glory, to tempt me to charge with the BSB. He wants to avoid my BSB charging in the Omen, but I think I have bad chances to win against the Omen. He's so good in challenge. He was a bit afraid because I had no magical attack and a lot of attacks. So with being lucky, I could have been able to kill him. That was a bit his idea. Magic. He is able to. He tried to cast Spectral Blade here. I dispel it. I want to give me a little chance to stick in this combat. He put -1 strength on my general, so with the random smite Unbeliever and with the Trial of Face, I had to take it. He's able to kill my BSB. So he did 3, I'm able to save 1, but he kills me. So yeah, that's a bit unlucky. Magic resistance didn't help. He was always able to cast with 2 dice the Trial of Face on my BSB. Challenge, I do 1 wound. He does nothing in return. He was only able to get 4 attacks, so 4+ and then 3+. Not so easy to wound me. He did nothing in return, so luckily for me, I'm able to stick. He is able to kill the Keen Eater, so he still wins the combat, but I'm able to stick, and that's it. My turn 5, pass the Frenzy, move a bit out of arc of the Scourge, but not of the Blazing Glories, because I was not able to pass my March test. Moves forward with Giant, chaff the Myrmidon, moves a bit away with my scoring, but I mean, I already lost the scenario, so that's it. Movement, nothing special. Combat, he made a Lethal Strike and killed my general. His turn 6, he moves away. He charges me with Blazing Glories. He moves forward to tempt me with the Scourge, who had no combat at all during the whole game. And he moves here with the Omen. In Magic, he will be able to kill me. And I guess nothing else. Yeah, Magic, he was able to cast Spectral Blade here to help a bit the Blazing Glories in combat. I'm able to do 4 wounds, he do only 2 to me, so quite luckily for me, I'm able to win. And this turn, I don't know exactly, but in combat, he was able to... I was steadfast this turn. He was able to do a couple of wounds, but I was steadfast. And on my turn 6, at the end of the turn, I'm able to kill the Blazing Glories, and yeah, that's it for the end of the game. I decided to charge with the Giant. I had a very small chance of killing him. Decided to charge. I mean, I already lost big, so it's only a 3-game tournament. Doesn't play a huge role if I lost the Giant, so I decided to charge, but yeah, he killed me easily. That's a 19-1 at the end, so huge loss for me. What happened during this game? So, first of all, I wasn't able to stop this chaff and push on the left side. Then I had several openings. Not sure taking the long charge turn 1 was particularly a good idea, since he would have been able probably to countercharge with Titan Slayer Chariot, and by failing the charge that blocked the Keen Eater behind the building and the Rock, so I'm not sure that was the perfect idea to take this long charge, but still I had some good opportunities. The 8 Swift Stride with the Rock was really interesting for me. I had some good openings. The other combat was decisive. I have a big regret of having forgotten completely the fact that he had no steadfast, which would have been big, because I would have killed the Order first of all, so take 1 flag, flee from the Omen, so save my general, save my mage, save maybe the last scoring unit, so you never know, save the Keen Eater as well. So yeah, quite huge this combat, and I'm a bit frustrated to have forgotten this aspect of the game. I was able to slow down the Scourge and the big blocks. Quite happy. The Scourge had no combat during his 6 turns. At the end, I took 1 combat, but he was not able to get anything interesting. The big blocks, Myrmidons and Succubi also had no combat, so that was, I guess, something positive from this game, from my game overall. But I think on the right side, I should have made a better use of the Rock. That was a bit unlucky game for him on one side, but a bit painful because I failed these 2 charges, so the 10, the 8, then I'm getting chaffed by my dog. I'm not able to... I didn't do anything really good with this Orc. At the end, I was able to kill 1 Blazing Glories, and that's it. But was not really really good from my side, the way I play with this Rock. And I think, by the way, that I should have kept 1 Keen Eater in ambush, the one on the right, to basically go for the Succubi, because as soon as the Omen moves out of the Succubi, I'm able to cause them a lot of problem with the Keen Eater. So I should have been with my Keen Eater in ambush to threat the succubi machine. I think that would have been much better. I already highlighted the mistakes during the Vanguard. That would have helped as well. I would have been a bit more aggressive on the right side. And my giant position on turn 1 was interesting. Really interesting, but I was facing the wrong way. Should have just watched the south of the board to threat him going forward in direction of my base. So yeah, couple of regrets, complex but interesting games, lots of lessons learned, interesting matchup, hard matchup, but still I fancy my chances. I think my game plan overall was good. I think the use of the map and so on, I was pretty happy with deployment, but then I made a couple of mistakes during the game, basically, which cost me quite big. The biggest of them was probably the forgetting the steadfast, the loss of the steadfast rule for the order during this big combat. That has been a bit huge, but yeah, that's it. I mean, lots of lessons learned, so that's always something positive to take out of a big loss. Okay guys, I hope you liked this battle report. Talk to you soon on my channel. Thanks a lot for following me and see you soon. Bye.